So what do we do? We're the lead inspectors. What are we looking for? What do we do? This is kind of simple. We want to keep kids from getting dust on their hands, putting it in their mouth, and ingesting lead. And where is the highest content in a house for lead? In the windows. And the reason why you'll find it more in the windows, in the window well particularly, on houses that were pre-1950 or before they've gotten new replacement windows, when that window goes up and down, what's that window doing on the paint on it that has lead paint? It's scraping off, abrasion. And where's it going? It's just collecting in that window wall. So kids who are a certain height can reach up to that, put it in their mouth, and it doesn't happen in a day. This is over the time that they're staying there. And they can get lead poisoning. It leads to horrible neurological diseases, development issues, and just from a legal standpoint, I can tell you, because I just took the class up in Baltimore, you hear stories of $500,000 and $1 million settlements for families that are tenants. 10 years later, they've gotten lead poisoning. They can show it. They've got the lawyers on their side, and they can sue the landlord for $1 million. So this is just something to think about in terms of keeping your clients safe in terms of preventing or reducing the risk of lawsuits. So here's what we do. Our job is to go into every room of the house that has a window and test it for lead. We do it with these. These are called ghost wipes. Look like little handy wipes, okay? And I'll pass these around. And as a lead inspector, you go to each window where there's a window, one window per room, and you take a dust sample. Certain way to do it. It then gets put into a test tube, labeled. It's put on a diagram that we draw of everywhere we take the sample, and Maryland Department of Environment requires us to send in 4 things after we get results from a lab and we send it to the client. If they pass, they get a digital copy of their certificate, which then allows them to continue the registration process to get their rental license. So
this has to be done before you register.
Actually, you register your property first, you get a tracking number. That tracking number allows us to start the process. So the first thing we do when we get a call, oh, do you have your tracking number yet? No, please call Maryland Department of Environment, register your property, get a tracking number, and then we set up an appointment. And what do we do? Before we do the test, we look for chipping, peeling, flaking paint throughout the house. We cannot start an inspection until we see that there's no chipping, peeling paint anywhere. Because if there's chipping, peeling paint and it's not addressed, what's the point of doing the dust inspection if that chipping, peeling paint can get on the floor, anywhere? It's going to affect basically the results in passing or failing for an inspection. First thing your clients need to do is register their property between September and December. That's the time frame, so that you're in the system with Maryland Department of the Environment. They then get a tracking number, and then from that tracking number, they call a lead inspector to come in so we can get them this, which is their lead inspection certificate that says that their home is lead safe. The difference between lead safe and lead free is lead safe, you've done everything you can to reduce the hazard of lead dust in the house. Chipping and peeling paint has been addressed. Wherever you see chipping and peeling paint, on the doors, on the ceiling, on the walls, anything that could chip, fall on the floor, especially the windows. You want to make sure that there's no dust. Second thing you do is you make sure your clients clean with a vacuum and then wipe off with a household detergent the area to reduce the amount of dust that's there. We come in, it takes anywhere between 15 minutes and an hour, depending on the size of the house. And this is what we do next, and I promise this to be a short presentation. My job is to draw a diagram of every floor of the house, every room, and basically where we're going to take a dust sample. Every bedroom in the house has a window. One window is what we take a sample of.